Here is Senator Natasha accusing Senate President Akpabio of harassment.
Many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. We're in his house in Benin. Then we all moved to his house in Rio. It was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just 3 of us. We're walking around from room to room. And then he got to this particular sitting room and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it. Come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it." At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. He then said, "Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me, make me happy." At that point, I said, "Sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this." He said, "Well, the ball is in your court."
All right. Ayo Mairo essay. I mean, that was quite intense, and it's just really heartbreaking to hear such, accusation made on, the number 3 man in Nigeria. I mean, this is not the first time we're hearing, these sort of accusations of harassment, and I'm glad Natasha has given him the floor to respond because, again, it's a huge, huge allegation.
Let me say first of all, absolutely spot on that the Senate President does, and I don't think he should send. This is bigger than sending people to come and speak on his behalf. I think he does have a duty to Nigerians whom he served and who have entrusted their votes in him, especially his senatorial district, to come out and really address, because it's now becoming a bit too much. Yes. I have a headline in front of me from 2020, July 13, 2020 by The Cable, which says, "I slapped Akpabio for sexually harassing me, sex ex-NDDC MD Joy Nunien." Now, this is not the first time a high-ranking woman has come out to make such an allegation. It's still an allegation, and of course, he's innocent until proven otherwise. Now, when we talk about this, let me talk about the bigger issue around sexual harassment and victimization. We often talk about having more women in politics, women's voices being heard. But how can you welcome women into a toxic environment if they feel that if they are there, what they would have to be victimized, sexualized, as we saw in that statement by Inform Patrick? Their intelligence will be questioned. Whenever they rise to any height, it will be said it's because they slept their way through it. You see an appointment, you see a beautiful woman, you're saying, "Oh, she must have done something." These are the sort of things that validate those rumors and those unfortunate comments like that. We also had the APC woman leader come, and I thought her statements were a bit disappointing, because when you're talking about women's rights and protecting women, the first thing you want to do to a woman who makes such a grave allegation is to listen and then ask that the person who's been accused comes out to defend himself, especially when it's not the first time. We need to protect our women. We need to protect our young girls. And I say this because it happens in institutions. Remember the sex for grades scandal that broke out, that changed policy in university?
Absolutely.
Women are, let me speak now as a woman. Women face this on a daily basis. And oftentimes when we are bold enough to come out to speak about this, we are accused of sensationalization or intimidation, blackmail. The first thing a woman wants is for her voice to be heard so that other women who face this discrimination and victimization can come out to also speak as well.
Absolutely.
You want more women in politics, make it safe for them to be in politics.
Absolutely.
But Senator Akpabio has a right to come out and defend himself.
Senator Akpabio has a right absolutely to come and defend himself. And very well said, Ayo, because this is what we were talking about, during the course of our interview about this crisis rocking the House. I mean, we've called for legislation to back women. And, there were so many comments that were made in the interview, like, the princess of the Senate, and, things like the nightclub incident. Those are not the kind of things that we need to hear right now. I mean, we need some more answers, and we hope we get a robust response from the President of the Senate, Akpabio.